we work a lot with lenders and investors who are more and more taking these scenarios into mind when they make their decisions and seeing how less the glossy, oh, there was a storm sort of events drive things, but understanding better how secondary effects, the cost of insurance, the cost of retrofits, the appeal of an area to live in, may have much larger impacts on properties.
Joining me today is Edwin Anderson, partner at Oliver Wyman. Edwin, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
So you're on a panel here at REITworks looking at climate scenario analysis. What sort of changes are you seeing in how companies are addressing the impact of climate on financial outcomes and operational procedures?
There's been a long history of people thinking about the operational parts of the impacts. What we've seen more and more is people considering the long-term financial impacts and looking at how those will play out. And we're seeing that we work a lot with lenders and investors who are more and more taking these scenarios into mind when they make their decisions and seeing how less the glossy, oh, there was a storm sort of events drive things, but understanding better how secondary effects, the cost of insurance, the cost of retrofits, the appeal of an area to live in, may have much larger impacts on properties. And thinking about that when they make loans, when they make equity investments.
And what are some of the key challenges and opportunities in implementing an effective climate scenario analysis?
One of the challenges is right-sizing your approach to your organization. So a lot of the early movers were major world-sized banks, enormous life insurance companies, other huge commercial real estate players who had the scale to build their own sophisticated models on top of the quality data that's available out there. When you're smaller, you have to make other decisions and figure out how to kind of triage that process. How do you get the best out of that with the information that you have? So as it moves from the folks who could put the budget to building sophisticated situations to people who are kind of mid-sized companies, which in a lot of cases from an overhead point of view, that covers a lot of REITs, they have to kind of right-size their approach and figure out that process.
What are some of the ways that climate scenario analysis is shaping broader trends within the commercial real estate industry today?
One of the things that's happening is I think it's creating some interesting pressure on where development happens. So one of the things we find, it's typically a relatively small percentage of large portfolios that, and sometimes even a couple of percent, where this is an issue at all, but often that issue is quite large. So trying to avoid those tail cases is becoming more and more standard practice by large players. And that's been a meaningful shift in their ability to actually make those decisions. That also influences where people want to develop and where people want to have properties. So I think there's some subtle, larger scale demographic effects that are likely to come from this.